It's a crazy, crazy world we're in. Chris Hogan's with me, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author a couple times over. His latest is Everyday Millionaires. If you're an everyday millionaire, you're probably not laying awake at night right now. Unless it's about something else.
That's right. Breathing, easy and clear. Why? Because you had a game plan and you followed it over time. And guess what? On the way to doing that, you've weathered some storms, my friends. You've seen some stuff. Whether it was the SARS situation in 02 and 03. Market dropped 12%, but by 03 it came back 19%. The Great Recession of 07 to 09, 18 months we saw, right? It came back. So we've grown up. We've seen some stuff. And what we don't want to forget is that the market is going to come back. I don't know when, but I know for a fact that it's going to.
Yeah, because the only other alternative is to assume that the entire economy completely implodes. And there's no historical point of reference for that.
No.
And, you know, that's a pretty heavy Chicken Little statement if you say America's coming to an end.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where you have to get to say all the businesses that you drive by that you recognize their names, Apple, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Home Depot, Lowe's, the movie theater, AMC. You know, who is it you're driving? Oh, by the way, Ford, Chevrolet, General Motors. You know, all these places you're driving by are suddenly not just down in value. If you assume that your mutual funds are worth zero, you're assuming all of those companies have a zero value. That's asinine.
It is. It really is. And Dave, to go back 30 days from now and look at where the market was, and to glance now, fast forward to where we are, and to say that what was happening in February was false is unreal too.
Yeah.
And so what we have to do is wake up. Okay, I know it's scary out there, but I'm going to tell you something. Being clear and seeing this stuff for what it is, it allows you to properly respond. Dave, I've been telling people on my Instagram and Facebook Lives, there's 3 things you can control, and there's actually 4. Your attitude, your outlook, and your actions, but also your faith. Mm-hmm. And when you see this for what it is, you don't want to waste energy on anything that's not worthy.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. And all you can control is the controllables.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It starts with what's between your ears.
Yeah.
And you got to start with controlling what's between your ears. We would not allow our kids when they were growing up to say, he made me mad. He didn't make you anything. You decided, due to the way he was misbehaving, to be mad. Now, it might be righteous anger. It might have been an injustice. But he didn't make you happy. She didn't make you mad. The coronavirus didn't make you afraid. You decided to be. And just as quickly as you decide to be, you can decide not to be. And now, again, we're not saying positive thinking is, you know, Pollyanna, stick your head in the sand, pretend like something's not going on. If you're facing some real stuff, like our company right now, our guys, I got 1,000 people working from home. Our productivity's down. Revenues are going to go down following that. We're facing some stuff at Ramsey Solutions right now. Real stuff. And, you know, I sure hope we get back to work soon. Yeah. Because if we don't, it's going to be a problem. And it's going to be a problem for a lot of people out there, and already a problem for a lot of people out there. So, you know, you're clear-eyed, but I'm also not going to oversteer, overcorrect, just because I've got some stress or because I've got some concern. I'm not going to pretend like it's not happening. I'm going to face it, but with clear eyes.
But why aren't you panicked?
Well, I'm not panicked because of our financial situation, for one thing.
Right.
But I'm also not panicked because I don't see this going on to September. I'm really, you know what gives me a whole lot more stimulus than the stimulus package?
What's that?
The president's saying we're going back to work. But the president's saying the cure is worse than the virus. It's doing more damage than the virus, and at some point we got to start balancing these two things out. And and someone finally being clear-headed and saying, we have a real serious situation with the virus, and we have to watch that stuff, but being real serious about it and saying the economic damage, because we have basically destroyed the hospitality industry. The cruise lines, the airlines, the hotels, and the restaurants. They're just, I mean, a bunch of them you will never see again. They're gone. And that's not an understatement. And we destroyed them with how we decided to fight the virus. And right or wrong, you can make an argument. I don't even have to make that argument.
Right.
I'm just making a factual statement. And if you continue this in this economy, now you are going to have a problem. You are going to have a problem because it's going to extend past those industries into everything else. And people's livelihoods, how they feed their children, how their futures are based, and well, you're putting people's lives at risk. No. We can make an argument about that. And what is the trade-off? Well, you're willing to kill Granny for the almighty dollar. I'm not willing to kill anybody's granny for an almighty dollar. That's not the point. The point is, are you willing to completely destroy this economy as your reaction for this virus? And when the president says, no, we're going back to work, and our governor says we're going back to work in about another 10 days here in Tennessee, then I think that's a big deal. Because it's these people's jobs do matter.
Yeah.
If everyone in America starts to become unemployed, now you've got real problems. And but I just don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either.
I really don't see that. I think people have had enough. They're tired of being afraid. They're tired of cowering in their homes. They're tired of the economic impact of the cure now superseding the actual disease we were trying to kill. And people are sick of it. I know some of you are mad, and some of you are still, we got hate mail yesterday because Anthony and I were sitting this close. And I'm like, well, Anthony's been tested, so I'll give him a hug. But, it's just people are so angry and off tilt, and it's just time for us to breathe, be kind, extend some grace to people that disagree with you. You may disagree with me. Extend me some grace. I'll try to extend some grace to you if you're wrong. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, and Dave, you're right, though. When people get fearful and when people hit panic, they can get mean and they can get nasty. And I think that's a good reminder for me, as well as all your listeners out there, just to remind yourself to just meet whatever you meet with grace. To be able to give people some level of understanding, even beyond maybe what they're due, but just to take that level of road. It's a higher road for you to take.
I have a good friend who's terrified of the virus right now. He's healthy. He's not in a risk group. It's all between his ears. He's afraid he's going to get the flu, essentially. And he's terrified of that. And he's terrified of appearing to be socially irresponsible. And he is held up in his house. And he's a good guy. He and I are just looking at this thing completely different. And I'm not a bad guy because I'm sitting here doing the show with you.
Right.
But he is completely debilitated by his fear over this. And he's really angry with me because I'm continuing to work and I'm continuing to travel and I'm continuing to try to do things to keep these 1,000 families that work on our team fed. And he's really angry with me. I'm being socially irresponsible and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I understand. You're just going to be angry. Yeah. But he's terrified. He's not just fearful. I mean, he is holed up in his home and people are sliding stuff under the door to him. I mean, he's not, no human contact and no logical reason for it.
Wow.
Other than he's just been watching the newsreel too much.
Yeah, way too much. And I'm going to tell you something. You get to that level, it's going to take some work to come out of that.
Yeah, yeah. That's a psychological
that's a battle.
At this point, I hadn't thought about that. His PTSD from this is going to be
massive.
It's going to be real. I hadn't thought about that. I'll have to pray for him in that way. Because it's just kind of pitiful to watch people be mean that aren't normally mean to their relatives, and they're mean to people in Walgreens, and it's gotten out of hand, you guys. You need to be kind.
It's funny you say that. I went to the store, picked up something, and I told a gentleman, I said, "Thank you, sir." And he looked at me and he goes, "That's the nicest thing anyone said to me all day."
Yeah.
He said, "Everyone else has been mean and nasty." And I said, "I'm sorry, sir." I said, I hope you have a good day. Yeah. But for him to take the time to mention that, it had to be bad.
Just be nice.
Be nice, people.